The river was a dark mirror, showing only the bruised sky, not her face. Madison shivered. The cold bit into her skin, but the chill inside was far worse. Each breath was a struggle, her heart a frantic drum. She sank to the muddy bank, knees weak. Her fingers dug into the cold earth. Tears streamed down her face, hot paths on icy cheeks, falling one by one into the flowing water, lost forever. She was alone. Truly, utterly alone. City lights twinkled far away, mocking her. A life she no longer had. Her world had shattered. Nowhere to go. No one to turn to. The past few days had been a blur of terror. Threats whispered in the dark. A debt, not hers, now crushing her soul. She had run until her legs burned, until her lungs ached. Run until she reached this forgotten edge of the city. The river's murmur was a false comfort, inviting her to let go. A dangerous thought pulsed through her weary mind. Her shoulders shook with silent sobs. She pulled her thin coat tighter, but it offered no warmth against despair. A sharp sound broke through her misery. A crunch of gravel. Her head snapped up. Fear, sharp and cold, pierced through her. She was not alone. A tall, imposing shadow stood just yards away, a dark shape against the dim light. He hadn't made a sound. He just appeared. Her breath caught. She couldn't move. Her heart hammered. Then his voice cut through the silence. It was deep, rough, yet it held a strange, unexpected calm. "Why are you crying alone?" he asked. His words hung in the cold night air. Madison stared at him, throat tight. Her mind raced. Every instinct screamed to flee. But where? Her body shook with raw fear. He was a man made of shadows and silence. He stood tall, broad shoulders. She couldn't clearly see his face, but felt his heavy, intense gaze. "Are you lost?" he asked again, his voice lower. He took a slow step closer. Madison tried to pull back, but she was against the riverbank, trapped. She pressed her lips together, only a faint whimper escaping. He stopped just a few feet away, close enough to smell something faint. Cold night air mixed with something metallic, dangerous. He didn't seem angry or kind. He just observed. His stillness was more frightening than any shouted threat. "You shouldn't be here," he said flatly. "This place is not safe for a woman alone." Madison finally found a whisper of a voice. I have nowhere else." Tears welled up. The shame of her tears in front of this stranger burned. She wiped at her face, a futile gesture. He watched her, silent. Then he moved deliberately, reaching into his coat. Madison flinched, gasping. Her arms came up. Was he going to hurt her? Her mind screamed. This was it. But he didn't pull a weapon. He took out cigarettes and a silver lighter. He lit one with a soft click. The small flame briefly lit his hard, chiseled face. Dark, piercing eyes. He took a drag. The cherry glowed red. He exhaled smoke. "You look like you're running from a ghost," he murmured, his gaze fixed on her. Madison couldn't deny it. "Please," she choked out. "Just leave me alone." He took another drag. "And leave you here? To freeze? Or worse?" He glanced around. That wouldn't be very smart. "What do you care?" she asked, a weak spark of defiance. She was tired of being afraid. He chuckled, a low, humorless sound. "Everyone cares, little bird, for their own reasons. Nothing happens by chance when a woman like you ends up by my river." He knelt a few feet away. "Tell me your name." "Madison," she whispered. "Madison," he repeated. "My name is Joaquin. You have stumbled into my domain." Joaquin. The name felt heavy. She'd heard names like that, whispered in fear. Names of men with immense power. Was he one of them? "Are you with them?" she asked, trembling. "The people looking for me?" Joaquin's eyes narrowed. Who are them, Madison? And why are they looking for a woman crying by the river? She hesitated. A debt, she finally said. Not mine. My brother's. Marco. He disappeared. And they came for me. For his debt. Her voice cracked on the last word. The memory of threats made her shiver violently. Joaquin listened intently. His gaze never left her. He didn't interrupt. Just listened. When she finished, he took a final drag, then crushed the cigarette under his shoe. He stood up. All at once, he seemed to fill the space. He was a solid wall, a mountain, dangerous, but perhaps a shield. A brother's debt, he repeated, a dangerous edge to his voice. And they came for you, leaving you here, alone, broken. That's not how things should be. Not in my city. Not to the innocent. His words struck her deep. That's not how things should be. A simple statement, yet so profound in her cruel world. What do you mean? She managed to ask, searching his face. He looked down at her. His shadow fell over her, large and encompassing. It means, he said, his voice deep, firm, that you're not crying alone anymore. And no one will make you cry alone ever again. Not while I stand. Not while you are under my protection. He held out a hand. His hand was large, strong, scarred. It was an offer, a terrifying choice. Stay here, alone, or take his hand. Step into an unknown future with a man who felt like both ultimate danger and impossible salvation. Her entire life hung in the balance. Every fiber screamed caution, but something deeper, desperate, yearned for the strength that hand promised. The warmth, the escape. She looked at his hand, then at his face. She knew, with a certainty that chilled her even as it ignited hope, that taking his hand meant stepping into his world. A world even more dangerous, perhaps. But it also meant not being alone. Not anymore. Her trembling fingers, cold and raw, slowly reached out. Joaquin's hand closed around hers. His grip was firm, warm, surprisingly gentle. He pulled her to her feet with easy strength. Madison stumbled, legs shaky. He steadied her with a hand on her arm. His touch sent a jolt through her, warning, but also, strangely, comforting. You're freezing, he stated. We need to get you somewhere warm. He didn't wait. He turned, grip still firm, and started walking away from the river. She had no choice but to follow. Every step felt like a surreal dream. She was walking with a stranger, a dangerous man named Joaquin, towards an unknown future. He led her to a sleek black car, expensive and almost invisible in the shadows. A man with a severe face sat in the driver's seat, unmoving. Joaquin opened the back door for her. The interior was dark leather, radiating a luxurious warmth. Madison hesitated. This was the point of no return. She glanced back at the river, then at Joaquin. His face was unreadable, but his eyes held a silent command. Get in. She slid onto the soft seat. The warmth enveloped her. Joaquin got in beside her. The driver started the car without a word. The vehicle moved smoothly, silently. Madison pressed herself against the door, putting as much space as she could between them. She stole glances at Joaquin. He looked straight ahead, profile stern. The ride was silent for a long time. City lights blurred past. Joaquin finally broke the silence. Who are these people looking for your brother? He asked. The Romano family, she whispered, the name tasting like ash and fear. Joaquin's jaw tightened. Romano. And what did your brother do? He borrowed money, Madison explained, voice barely audible. Gambling. He lost everything. Then he disappeared. They said he owed a large amount, and if he didn't pay, they'd make his family pay. She paused. I don't even know where he is. If he's alive. Joaquin was silent. And you have nothing? No money? She shook her head. They took everything, smashed the rest. Told me if I didn't find him, or the money, they'd come back. And make sure I regretted ever being born. Her voice broke. They threatened you with extreme violence, Joaquin stated. Yes, she confirmed, shivering. They said they'd make an example of me. Joaquin turned his head slowly. His dark eyes met hers. They won't touch you again. Not ever. His voice was soft, but the certainty was absolute. It was a promise. Madison stared. The sheer authority in his words was breathtaking. Could he stand against the feared Romano family? A strange flicker of belief ignited within her. The car slowed, pulling up to a large, imposing house. Old money. Grand. A fortress. Joaquin turned to her. For now, he said, you are under my protection. You will stay here. You will be safe. My word guarantees it. His words were a lifeline. Madison clutched at his words. Safe? In this man's house? It was madness. Yet her terrified part yearned for that promise. The car stopped. The driver opened Madison's door. Joaquin nodded slightly. Come, let's get you inside. She stepped out. The house loomed, beautiful but intimidating. Stone walls, tall windows, a heavy wooden door. She followed Joaquin up the steps. Inside, it was grander. High ceilings, polished wood floors, soft lighting. It smelled of old books and something masculine, like leather. An older woman, Maria, with kind eyes and silver hair, met them. Maria, Joaquin said, his voice surprisingly gentle. This is Madison. She will be staying with us. She needs food, warmth, clean clothes, and a safe room. The one on the 3rd floor, overlooking the garden. Maria's kind eyes softened. Of course, Joaquin. Poor dear. Come with me, child. She reached out a hand, warm and reassuring. Madison, starved for kindness, instinctively took it. Maria led her up a grand staircase. Madison glanced back at Joaquin. He was watching her, then turned into a room, the heavy door closing behind him. He was gone. Maria took Madison to a beautiful, spacious room. Soft bed, large window, private bathroom. A sanctuary. You can rest here, Kara, Maria said softly. I'll bring you hot food. You are safe here. Truly safe. You are safe here. Madison collapsed onto the bed. Tears of relief began to fall. She cried until she was empty. Exhaustion claimed her. She fell asleep to her own fading sobs. Hours later, she woke to a gentle knock. Maria entered, carrying a tray of delicious soup, fresh bread, and clean loungewear. Eat, little one, Maria urged. Madison ate slowly. The warmth spread through her. Maria sat silently, watching. Who is he, Maria? Madison finally asked. Joaquin? What kind of man is he? Maria smiled faintly. Joaquin is a protector, a formidable man, a good man, Madison, even if his world is a hard, dangerous one. He takes care of his own, and anyone he deems worthy of his care. He has a strong sense of justice, a fierce code of honor. She paused. He sees what needs to be done, what is right, and he does it, regardless of the cost to himself. But why me? Madison asked. He doesn't know me. Why would he do this? He saw you, Maria said simply. Alone by the river, crying, broken. He recognized your pain, your utter desperation. Joaquin doesn't ignore suffering. Not when he can do something about it. Especially not when it involves a grave injustice, which your situation surely was. He felt a duty to make things right. He is a man of his word. Injustice. That word resonated deeply. Maria then helped her find a private bathroom. The hot shower felt like a profound cleansing ritual, washing away not just the dirt, but the lingering terror, the bone-deep cold, and the crushing despair. When she emerged, wrapped in a fluffy towel, Maria had laid out the clean clothes. Later, dressed in soft cotton, she felt a fragile, delicate sense of peace. For the very first time in days, she didn't feel the constant, agonizing knot of fear twisting in her stomach. She sat by the window, looking out at the dark, silent garden. The house was quiet, a solid, comforting presence. A fortress. Perhaps a prison, but more than that, it felt like a sanctuary. But even with this newfound peace, a quiet whisper remained. What would Joaquin ask of her in return? What was the true price of this impossible protection? The next morning, Madison woke to soft golden light. She showered and dressed. Maria entered with coffee and pastries. "Good morning, Cara," Maria said. "Did you sleep well? You look much better." "Better than I have in a long time," Madison admitted. "Thank you." "Joaquin will want to see you after you've eaten," Maria told her gently. "He's in his study." The knot of anxiety returned. The bill. The payment. After she ate, Maria led her downstairs. They stopped before a large, heavy wooden door. Maria knocked. "Come in," Joaquin's deep voice rumbled. Madison took a deep breath and stepped into the study. A vast room, lined with countless books. A huge mahogany desk dominated the center. Joaquin sat behind it, a tablet in his hands. He looked up, his gaze immediately finding hers. His eyes, dark and piercing, met hers. He wore a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled up, revealing strong, scarred forearms. He looked powerful, dangerous. Yet, there was an unexpected stillness about him. "Madison," he said, his voice even. "Sit." He gestured to a leather chair. She sat, hands clasped, heart beating faster. This was it. "I've made inquiries regarding your situation," he began. "The Romano family, your brother Marco, owed them a significant sum." Madison swallowed. "I know. I don't have that kind of money." "No," Joaquin agreed. "But I do." Her head snapped up. "What?" "I've paid off your brother's debt," he stated casually. "The Romanos have been informed. They will no longer bother you, or search for your brother. The matter is closed." Madison gasped. You paid it? Why? Why would you do that for me, a stranger?" Joaquin leaned back. "I told you. That's not how things should be. For them to persecute an innocent because of foolishness. It's dishonorable. It is unjust. And I do not permit dishonor or injustice in my city, especially not towards those who cannot defend themselves." His voice was firm, absolute. "Your city?" Madison repeated, a cold dread washing over her. He was what she suspected. A man of immense, illicit power. A silent king. He met her gaze, unblinking. "Yes, my city. Now, about you. You have no family, apart from a vanished brother. No home. No money. And the Romanos, though they won't touch you, will still know you were involved. Staying in this house offers you protection, safety, and resources. But it comes with a condition, Madison. Everything has a cost." Here it was, the true price. Madison braced herself. "What condition?" she asked. "You will work for me," Joaquin said, his gaze steady, his voice firm. "Maria is getting older. Her duties are becoming too much. You will assist her. Help manage the household affairs. Learn from her. It will give you purpose, a place to belong, and a roof over your head, in exchange for your labor and your loyalty. You will earn your keep." Madison was stunned. Work? For him? In this grand house? She had expected something far darker. That's all?" she stammered. Joaquin gave a faint nod. "That is all. For now. You will be safe. You will be provided for. You will earn your keep. Do you accept these terms, Madison?" She thought of the cold river, the terror, the hopelessness. Compared to that, this was a miracle, a second chance. Yes, she said, voice stronger, filled with gratitude. Yes, Joaquin, I accept. Thank you. He simply nodded again, a flicker of something in his dark eyes. Satisfaction, perhaps, or something deeper. Good. Maria will show you what needs to be done. We will discuss your brother's whereabouts later. I have men looking. They are thorough. We will find him, Madison. My word. Her brother. Hope surged. This dangerous, powerful man had not only saved her, but was looking for Marco. A paradox. A dark night in a dark world. She, vulnerable, had found herself under his unwavering protection. A profound sense of destiny. Madison spent the next few weeks in apprehension, determination, and gratitude. Maria, a perceptive and kind soul, noticed Madison's quietness. She knew what Madison had endured. Maria took Madison under her wing, guiding her gently through the bewildering routines of the grand house. Maria helped Madison choose new clothes, elegant and respectful, often in dark, muted colors, practical and discreet. Be strong, little one, Maria advised. You have a spirit within you, a strength Joaquin recognized. He will protect you. He always protects his own. You are family here. That night, 3 weeks after the river, Madison stood by the front door, waiting. The air was thick with tension. Joaquin descended the staircase, his presence commanding. He wore a dark, impeccably tailored suit. His eyes found hers, assessing her. Ready? He asked, his voice low. As I'll ever be, Joaquin, she replied, surprised by her own steady strength. He gave a slight, approving nod. Remember what I told you. Say nothing unless asked directly. Let me do the talking. You are there to be seen, to show our commitment, our unified front. It will speak volumes. Madison understood. She was a symbol, a pawn in a dangerous game, praying for her brother's safety, willing to do whatever was necessary. The car ride was silent and tense. The driver navigated winding city streets. They drove far out, to a forgotten industrial district. Old derelict buildings loomed, dimly lit streets. Finally, they pulled up to a massive warehouse. Guards stood at the entrance, heavily armed. Joaquin met their gaze without flinching. He got out. Madison followed, legs like lead, but she forced herself to keep pace. The air was cold, damp. The huge, grimy metal door creaked open. Inside, it was vast and cavernous. Bare concrete floors, dim, flickering lights. In the center, a long table. Several men sat. One man, older, with a jagged scar and cold eyes, sat at the head. This was Marconi, the ruthless boss who held Marco. Madison felt a tremor of fear so intense it almost buckled her knees. Joaquin's hand found the small of her back. A subtle, firm touch. I've got you. Stay strong. They walked towards the table. Every eye was fixed on them. Marconi watched, a slow, predatory smirk on his lips. Joaquin, Marconi said, his voice raspy. And who is this lovely companion you bring? His eyes raked over Madison, making her skin crawl. Joaquin stepped slightly in front of Madison, shielding her. Marconi, you know why I'm here. My associate, Marco Rossi, made a foolish mistake. He's been punished enough. It is time for him to be released. Foolish? Marconi chuckled, a harsh, grating sound. He tried to steal from me, Joaquin. That's a death sentence. He has no worth to you dead, Joaquin countered, steady. But he has value to me, and to his sister. He gestured to Madison, a possessive, protective gesture. This is Madison Rossi. She is under my protection, part of my household now, a new addition to my family, and I've come for her family. Marconi's eyes widened. A ripple of murmurs went through the men. Joaquin had just claimed Madison. Publicly. In front of a rival boss. A dangerous, powerful statement of ownership and commitment. His sister? Marconi mused, a cunning glint in his eyes. So, this is a family matter, Joaquin? You involve your new family in such things? Very sentimental. Tell me, little bird, what do you offer for your brother's life? Madison felt Joaquin's hand pressed gently but firmly into her back. A silent warning. She had to speak, to show emotion. Please, she began, voice trembling but clear. My brother is foolish. He made terrible mistakes. But he is all I have left. He was desperate. Please, I beg you, let him go. We will pay any price. I will work for it, whatever it takes. Marconi laughed, a chilling, mirthless sound. Any price? You have nothing, girl. Joaquin already paid his debt. What about yours for this foolish brother? Joaquin's voice cut in, sharp and firm. She will work for me to repay what I paid for her brother's original debt. And for his release from you. She is my responsibility now. Her life, her future, is intertwined with mine. You release Marcone, and consider the matter closed. My word is my bond. My word is all you need. Marconi leaned back, studying Joaquin intently. A long, excruciatingly tense silence filled the warehouse. The air crackled with unspoken threats. Madison held her breath, her gaze darting between the two figures. Her future, Marco's future, hung by a single fragile thread. Joaquin had staked his reputation, even his life, on her. On this. Finally, Marconi straightened. Your word, he repeated, savoring it. A valuable currency, Joaquin. Very well. For you, and for the personal plea of your associate sister, Marco Rossi will be released. He is yours. But if he ever crosses my path again, there will be no mercy. And you, Joaquin, will owe me a very big favor. A favor I will collect when I see fit. The deal was struck. The tension in the room shifted. Madison felt a dizzying wave of profound relief. Marco was free. He was alive. Marconi gestured, and from a back room, 2 of his men led Marco out. He was a scrawny, terrified figure, pale and gaunt. Seeing him, Madison rushed forward, tears streaming. She pulled him into a tight, desperate embrace, a sob tearing from her throat. He was safe. Alive. Joaquin watched their reunion, a silent, unmoving presence. His face remained unreadable, but Madison felt a powerful, quiet satisfaction radiating from him. He had kept his word. He had brought her brother back. He truly was a man of his word. The drive back to Joaquin's house was quieter. Marco sat beside Madison, still shaking, but clutching her hand tightly. Back at the house, Maria was waiting, her face etched with worry, but her eyes bright with relief. She hugged Marco fiercely, tears in her own eyes. Joaquin spoke with Marco in his study for a long time. When Marco finally emerged, his face was still pale, but a new light, a fragile flicker of hope was in his eyes. Joaquin, he's giving me a chance, Marco stammered. A new identity, passage to another country, a small sum to start fresh. On one condition, I never gamble again, never look back, and I work for what he gave me. Madison hugged him again, relief overwhelming. Thank God, Marco. Take it, please. Don't look back. The next morning, Madison stood with Marco at the airport. Joaquin's trusted men ensured his safe passage. It was a bittersweet farewell. Madison, Marco said, thick with emotion. I'm so sorry. For everything. Thank you. And please, thank Joaquin. He saved my life. He saved yours. He gave us a future. She watched him go, a pang of sadness, but also a deep sense of peace. Her brother was safe. He had a chance at a new life. And she? She was still under Joaquin's roof, still in his world, but no longer afraid. Months unfolded like the quiet turning of pages. Madison settled into her role. She learned to manage the vast household with an efficiency that surprised even Maria. The house, once intimidating, now felt like home. She gained confidence, her voice stronger, her gaze steady. She learned to anticipate Joaquin's needs, to read his subtle moods, the unspoken commands in his eyes, becoming an indispensable part of his life. She saw the quiet strength that underlay his dangerous exterior, the immense burden of his responsibilities, and the unexpected moments of kindness he showed to his staff, to Maria, and, increasingly, to her. Their interactions grew, slowly, carefully. Over dinner, Joaquin would sometimes ask about her day. He would listen, truly listen, his dark eyes fixed on her. He would share insights, sometimes philosophical, sometimes brutally practical, about the complex, dangerous world he inhabited. She found herself drawn to his sharp, incisive mind, his unwavering principles, even the quiet intensity that constantly surrounded him. Her initial fear had slowly, imperceptibly, transformed. First into profound respect, then deep admiration, and finally, a profound, undeniable trust that settled deep in her soul. She began to see past the intimidating facade of the Mafia boss to the man beneath, the protector, the complex soul burdened by a dangerous world, yet capable of immense loyalty and unexpected tenderness. One cold evening, as winter truly set in, blanketing the city in snow, she found him alone in his study, staring out the window at the snow-covered garden, lost in thought. She had brought him his usual evening tea, a small ritual they now shared. He turned as she entered, sensing her presence. His eyes met hers across the room, and something shifted in the air between them, something palpable, electric, charged with unspoken emotions. The unspoken weight of shared experience, of dangers faced together, of lives he had saved, hung heavy, yet warm, connecting them in an undeniable way. "Madison," he said, his voice low, a soft rumble that resonated through the quiet room, a hint of vulnerability. "You've changed this place. It feels lighter, warmer. You brought something new." She smiled softly, a genuine, warm smile that reached her eyes. "You gave me a chance, Joaquin. A home. A purpose. You gave me my life back." He stepped closer, closing the distance between them. His gaze was intense, searching, delving into the depths of her soul. "I found you crying alone by a river," he murmured, his voice rough with an emotion she hadn't heard before, a raw, powerful vulnerability. "Broken. Lost. I saw something." He reached out, his large, scarred hand gently, reverently, cupping her cheek, his touch tender. His touch sent shivers down her spine, not of fear now, but of a sudden, powerful, overwhelming longing that ignited within her. "I saw a strength that was waiting to be found, a spirit that deserved to be cherished, a woman who deserved more than despair, a future." Her breath hitched in her throat, catching, unable to move, unable to speak, consumed by the moment. His thumb traced a soft, tender path along her skin, a gesture of unexpected intimacy, a quiet claim. His eyes, usually so guarded, so unreadable, now held a deep, profound vulnerability she never expected to witness, mirroring her own feelings. "You are no longer alone, Madison," he said, his voice a low, steady rumble, a promise whispered against the quiet, a vow. "Not while I draw breath, not while I stand. You are mine." His words weren't a command. They were a heartfelt confession, an unbreakable vow. And in that powerful, quiet moment, standing in the elegant grandeur of his study, the dangerous, protective Mafia boss became her unexpected love. The man who had pulled her from the depths of despair, from the very edge of oblivion, had become the anchor of her soul, the center of her world, her everything. And that, my friends, is how a single question, whispered by a powerful man to a woman broken and lost by the river's edge, changed everything. A story of survival, of dangerous, unwavering protection, and of finding an unexpected, profound love in the most unlikely and thrilling of places. If you are captivated by Madison and Joaquin's journey from desperation to an unbreakable bond, make sure to subscribe to our channel right now. Don't forget to hit that like button if this tale of high-stakes romance resonated with you, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another gripping story. Tell us in the comments below, what was the most surprising moment in Madison and Joaquin's evolving relationship? Do you believe love can truly conquer all, even the darkest of worlds? Share your thoughts and join our community of passionate story lovers. Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest love stories begin where all hope seems lost.